So let's start off with the first thing. Has college basketball powerhouses lost their stronghold on the national championship? So what you think about this?
Man, if you look at what's going on right now, and it's been kind of going on for years that
Almost a
the
decade.
yeah the powerhouses are kind of moving to the back seat, and these mid look they used to be looked at as mid majors are the ones that are making a lot of noise. Like you look at Gonzaga, they've been making the noise for a while, but they just haven't been able to get over the hump to actually win. And then just looking at the records of the Blue Bloods going, today, like you see Kentucky is having one of the worst years ever at 5-12. Like when have you ever seen, Kentucky, lose 12 games in the season? And then you look at Duke, they're sitting at right now 7-7. So, I just look at, like I said, Gonzaga, and then you have Baylor, sitting at number two. They're usually a football team, but the past couple of years they've been a basketball team, and they've been doing really good in basketball. So, it's seeming that the powerhouses are kind of falling to the wayside. Georgetown, Kansas, Michigan State, like it's not looking good for these teams. And it looks like we may have our first year without one of those teams being, a number one seed, or maybe not even making a tournament at all.
Yeah, yeah, I know it. Like it all started like in the early 2000s when Weber State beat UNC, and then I think things started to change. We had um, Butler in the national championship game,
Hmm.
another mid major, and I just think the talent is just getting better overall. So not, someone could be labeled as big blue chip high school player, and you know there's other players who are better than that person, and they're going to these smaller schools, and they're able to play the way that they want to play. Because
Hmm.
usually when you go to college, you got to play, in the system of the coach. And when you are playing in this system, and you have one guy on another team, and are actually a few guys on the other team just playing the, the way fits them better, they may work out to be better. Just like you don't see in the NBA, they're running too many straight sets because these players could do so much. They could really shoot from the half court line.
Right, right.
That's how good these players are today. Like if you put certain players in a system, they will not excel as well as just letting them play. And that's what we're seeing in the NBA. They're just letting all these players play, and they're scoring more. These guys are like more athletic. Look at somebody like Zach Levine, and if you put him in a system, he would not be averaging close to 30 points a game.
Right,
Like
right.
the dude, he's really skilled. Look at Vince Carter in college. He averaged like 14 points a game, and he went to the NBA. He could play his game, and that's how
Hmm.
these major coaches they're playing to the strength of their players, and that's why you see those guys who go to Duke and play in the system, and they're like these blue chip recruits, and most of them don't even pan out to be as good as they say. A lot of D1 players are not really as good as what they are when they get on the basketball court.
Right, right. I agree with that point 100%. It's just looking at the landscape, it's like the mystique of these coaches and the mystique of the teams have, like you said, kind of been taking a hit because these mid majors are allowing their players to just ball, like just go out there and ball. Like we don't, we're not going to put you in all these intricate, offensive schemes, and just go out there and ball. That I mean, that's pretty much what you're going to do in the NBA anyway. Because it's like, okay, you're going to tell this uber talented um, guy that's making $30 million a year to run a play. No, James, you're gonna tell James Harden to run a play. You're gonna tell Kevin Durant to run a play. You're gonna tell LeBron or AD to run a play. No, give them the ball and let them do what they do. And like you said, these mid majors, they are allowing their players to play. And then you do have some like say Gonzaga for perfect example, that the system that their coach runs, his players buy into it, and it's a collective effort to be the number one team in the nation right now. And you have individuals that are talented, but they sacrifice that talent to go ahead and for team success. It's like what Anthony Davis did in Kentucky the year. He only averaged 10 points a game,
10 points,
and
like 10 and 9 or something like that.
yeah, and still went number one in the draft, because they saw the talent. And then now he went to New Orleans. Everyone saw the talent, and then now you pair him with LeBron James, someone to teach him how to win. And now the dude is a top 5 player in the league. So
Yeah,
it's
like when you touch on Gonzaga, for instance, like that coach recruits certain players to fit his system. So when they go to Gonzaga, they know what system that they're running to. They don't really recruit like blue chip players, really.
right.
It's not too many players that see go there. Like, oh, this is like a top 10 player in the whole country. Like that coach knows how to recruit certain type of players to fit his system, and they all buy in. And that's what has been going on for like Duke for like years. But they actually recruit these blue chip players as well. But because I could do things a little bit different, just like Butler did. They did things a little bit different, and they were successful.
Yeah.
But overall, the mid majors has been knocking off these big schools in the tournament for like the last decade. Because if you watch them, you see how they get up and down the court. They
Right.
don't run this slow motion offense, but sometimes these big schools just have more talent, and that's what
Yep.
it's always been. The big
Yep.
schools just always had more talent.
Yep.
Like they had overwhelmingly more talent than these
Yep.
major schools. But like we see in the NBA, when one player can take control of a game, 1 or 2 players can take control of the game, man.
At the
That's what
right
these mid
time.
are doing.
Yep. Yep.
Thanks for tuning in to Not Another Sports Show on the Blue Chippers podcast. For more content, check out our other shows and subscribe to the Blue Chippers podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Not Another Sports Show 2021 on Instagram and Twitter.